I'm not going to say I told you so, but literally in DA Rourke's press conference and hearing Tammy Lee state that they messed up and that they didn't get to everything that they should have, kind of validates what all of us YouTubers have been saying this whole time, that there are things that we still don't know, and this validates everything that we've heard. And we're going to be taking a look at it right now. So with that being said, grab a chair, grab some popcorn. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel by hitting that white bar icon down at the bottom right. Hit the bell icon next to it, so when I do post videos like this one, you guys will get that little ring notification that I posted that video. Then you guys can watch, comment, like, and share. And again, thank you guys so very much for that love and support. Keep on doing what you guys are doing, and we'll continue to keep growing. With that being said, looking into this a little bit farther when it comes to possibly not looking at the evidence and looking at mess ups and stuff like that. Again, I am not a professional. I've said this countless times. I'm not a detective. I'm a DA or a junior detective. I sit behind my keyboard and playing crime investigator when not just myself, but thousands and millions of people have stated the same thing. Now, when it comes to the investigation, obviously we know that NK had been not been forthcoming when it comes to her phone, text messages, her SIM card, factory resetting her phone, and stuff like that. She was trying to hide something that hindered the investigation. A lot of people think that the pregnancy was a rumor that she was pregnant, which why she was being protected because she possibly had a child, which we still to this day do not know if is true. Some people believe that Chris is protecting her for that reason. I believe that Chris was protecting her because he thought he might have been able to get out, or he didn't think he was going to get such a harsh sentence, or he was going to get caught at all, because Nicole Atkinson kind of foiled their plan. And then when everything went sideways, Chris pretty much was like, "Oh crap, I'm jiffed, or I'm not jiffed. The jig's up," and pretty much was coerced into confessing to everything, which he shouldn't have done, because obviously we know that he possibly was the whole reason why the murders happened. But there is another person as well. We're going to take a look at two different interviews. One from DA Rourke himself that he did on a press conference, so there's nothing to hide here, but obviously you need to listen in order to gather that information. Tammy as well has stated that they pretty much stopped everything and put it on hold. And then after it went on hold, they're like, "Yep, we're done. We're not going to be doing any more." So let's take a look at these, and then we'll kind of conclude and say what more we can speculate on these two interviews. So let's take a look.
And spoke to investigators on her own volition. Prior to the time, unfortunately, that she came in and spoke with investigators, she had deleted all of the information off of her phone that had any connection between her and Chris Watts. That hampered the investigation. That hampered our ability to get that
Hampered. Alexa, what does hampered mean?
Hampered is a form of the word hamper. As a verb, hamper is usually defined as to hold back, hinder, impede. As a noun, hamper is usually defined as gear that, although necessary to the operations of a vessel, is sometimes in the way. For more, ask me to give you more definitions for hamper.
She impeded the investigation. She caused problems in the investigation. That's a federal crime.
Electronic digital connection between the two. She was interviewed on multiple occasions.
3.
I believe that for the most part she was forthcoming in the course of those investigations. And
for the most part?
Spoke to investigators on her own volition.
We'll watch it again.
Prior to the time, unfortunately, that she came in and spoke with investigators,
why are you looking up the ceiling?
She had deleted all of the information off of her phone that had any connection between her and Chris Watts. That hampered the investigation. That hampered our ability to get that electronic digital connection between the two. She was interviewed on multiple occasions. I believe that for the most part she was forthcoming in the course of those investigations. And
you believe she was most forthcoming on 3 or different interviews that she had, which made no sense, didn't help, was completely not needed. And yet everybody wants to believe that DA Rourke brought justice? Let's take a look at what Tammy Lee has to say about the case as well.
We didn't examine all the evidence. We didn't interview every witness we needed to. We didn't do all of these things that you would do in a normal investigation because he stopped the clock. We were relieved that it was
And DA Rourke is the one that stopped everything.
going to be over, but at the same time, we felt like, in a sense, we didn't finish. We didn't examine all the evidence. We didn't interview every witness we needed to. We didn't do all of these things that you would do in a normal investigation because he stopped the clock. We were relieved that it was going to be over, but at the same time, we felt like, in a sense, we didn't finish. We didn't examine.
Why didn't you feel that you're finished? Because DA Rourke decided, oh, I might need to possibly look good for my elections. This is my theory. For educational and entertainment purposes only, I feel that, one, he wanted to look like he could get this job done fast and easy and quick and painless. So he pretty much told the family, death penalty is not needed. We don't need it. It's going to take longer. We're going to go to trial. We're going to just do this and that. And it's going to be more of a mess. And we just don't want to do that. So they agreed. They wanted it done and over with as well. They didn't have to worry about seeing Chris Watts' face and all that mumbo jumbo. But even Tammy says herself, this case was far from being done. They had more interviews to be done. The evidence was not looked at. It was not finished. He stopped the clock. He was like, we're done. We have the confession. Chris said that he murdered everybody. But there's also things that Chris have said, but we're not going to believe everything he says. But there are things that he has stated that he's going to take to his grave. We've looked at, how many times do I sit there and say this on this channel? We've literally looked at phone pinging, her alibi, her not showing up to work. She literally religiously talked to Chris every single flipping day in their, how many weeks that they were together. But the one day that they didn't talk was the day of the murders. She acted like she didn't know what they were talking about when it came to the 51-minute phone call, the 111-minute phone call. She's like, I don't really remember. And then they asked questions about her being anywhere near that location or in the being on dinner. What did you guys talk about? Oh, we talked about his macros and we talked about him eating healthy. That's not what we asked you. She didn't even say that. She literally sat there and said, she goes, well, he's been losing weight and he's doing this. Like, she's keeps dodging the question. There are literal professionals at this, attorneys, criminal investigators, retirees that are 25 to 35 to 40 years on the force. Like, they have reached out to me and have stated this case is completely BS. And now there's rumors that they state that this case didn't even happen. There was no Chris Watts. There was no NK. There was no shenanigans. Are you kidding me? Like, it's getting to the point where it's being confusing. We've looked down the rabbit hole of why NK could be possibly not investigated. It's probably all it is money, power, and knowing the right people. The three things. Somebody's got money, somebody knows people, and they have power. Those are the three things that are probably making this case not get solved. Because literally I've seen how many different times that this place, the place in Colorado, I'm not trying to say it's a joke, but I've never seen a lot of mistakes and not doing it by the book. And we've seen police not having gloves and bagging properly. They're putting it in plastic bags rather than paper bags. And things that we've known over the course of how many times we've watched the first 48 and crime videos. And I mean, yeah, okay, not Criminal Minds, but CSI Miami and New York and so forth. Those are TV shows, but you can't tell me that a lot of these things are not by the book. And then you watch this one and you're like, oh, this is going to take weeks, months, possibly years. It's done in days. From signed, sealed, delivered, from Chris confessing within days, and then bringing it to the sentencing in November, it's ridiculous. I mean, look at the Madeline Soto case right now. It's going on for days. She was murdered back in February, and here we're almost halfway, or almost a month in, and we still haven't got Stephen Stearns to be convicted of murder. But yeah, he's throwing his stepdaughter, or not throwing his stepdaughter because he wasn't a stepdaughter, but throwing Madeline's stuff away. The mom is not talking. That's taking forever. And that's in Florida. There's been rumors about DNA mumbo jumbo happening down in Colorado. I just watched a news broadcast that DA Rourke mentioned that there are definitely a lot of cases where that DNA was conflicting. What the heck is going down in Colorado? Again, I'm not a professional. I don't say that I'm perfect, but I'm not saying that they're perfect either. People make mistakes and they need to be held reliable or held accountable and say, yeah, oops, we messed up. We might need to look at this again. Like looking at these people's comments, just looking at these comments, like they're stating like, this needs to be relooked at. How hard is it to open up? Bring this before a judge. Bring it before a group of jurors. The evidence has to go to trial. They didn't even have a trial. A jury trial costs the taxpayers so much money. It comes down to money too. They're like, oh, we don't have enough money for this. We can't. It just doesn't make sense. I'm reading all these things right now. The DA just really is a DA. And as for the cops, I don't even know what to say there. NK might have been pregnant. I don't think she was ever pregnant, to be honest. And then there's some people that are like, she's innocent. How do we know she's innocent? They didn't even do it right. They didn't bring the evidence. All you have to do is look at the evidence and say innocent or guilty. We don't know anything. They won't open up to check. You know what this is like? Is they're pretty much like when they get ready for the plane rides. When you get ready to take off and stuff like that, and you get ready to go on the plane and stuff like that, but they do checks before that. They look at the fuel, they look at the plane, they look at the wings, they look at the tires, they look at everything. This is pretty much what they're doing with checking the plane. Okay? You're good to fly. Like, we don't know if we can fly. We don't know if we can take off. But you're just going to wing it? They literally winged this case. Just because Chris said, yep, I killed Shanann. They're like, he's confessed. We got him. Lock him up. He didn't even confess to the girls yet. He did that later on in the jailhouse when they went to go meet him again. Then he confessed to the girls. Then he apologizes. Oh, I should have never said that. And then now he's saying he was coerced. I can't remember how you say it. But he was pretty much pushed to say this. Like, how hard is it to actually do the job that you're made to do the job for? And then I got people in my chat going, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't have to have common sense to see this complete BS. The DA said it there. She hampered the investigation by not... She came forward. But because Anna Darko told investigators and FBI that they were messing with each other, so hey, you might need to look at this person named Nicole Kessinger. She's like, oh crap, I got to go to them first to make it look like I'm helping the investigation. Oh, but when I'm going to sit down and talk to you guys, I'm not going to talk about the actual investigation. I'm just going to talk about myself. I'm going to talk a lot, and it's pretty much going to be complete BS that comes out of my mouth. Nothing she said helped them. Tammy Lee has said the clock stopped. They couldn't look at the evidence. The evidence was put in a box and pushed aside. And yet we're crazy. We've seen the professionals look at it. I've said it before. I'm telling you, something's coming. I don't know what it is. But comment your guys' thoughts down below. I want to know what you got. This woman is guilty and she just needs to be investigated. Just investigate her, interrogate her properly, put somebody in there that knows what the hell they're doing and how to investigate properly, and question her properly. Look at the evidence. Look at it. And then come up with a guilty or not guilty plea. How hard is that? Oh, but it costs money. Yeah, but you're making a lot of money being a DA. Just saying, you're making over 100K. So, and then the jokes that, oh, I was given 80K to shut my mouth or to make this game. Could that be a reality? Who knows? I'm gonna look more into this. The press conference. I also want to look at that interview of Tammy Lee. A lot of people want me to watch her and take a look at that as well, which I can do. But I want you guys to comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, like, and share the video. We'll see you guys in the next video. So keep it real, keep it safe. As always, keep nerding on. Also, at the end of the video, you'll see 2 more videos that are posted right here. Make sure you guys click on those and binge watch Zawoki for hours and hours and hours. Why not? It's free, it's easy, and there's tons to enjoy. We'll see you guys in the next one. Keep it real, keep it safe, and as always, keep nerding on, and we'll see you guys next time.